Hi folks, how's it going? I've been meaning to play through this game and it's about time that I do a complete playthrough. If you weren't aware, this is one of the earliest RTSs ever made, with lots of rich history behind it. Now check out this opening.
Dune, the battle for Arrakis.
Nothing like some sweet opening cinematics and music. For me personally, I always felt this game was a little bit on the slow side, but I have found a patch that allows me to use the Sega Mega Mouse, which was provided by the user Chili Willy over on the romhacking.net website. Now let's take a look at the tutorial here. Now here it gives you a brief description of the terrains and their function. Very brief description of the units. Hey look, it's an ornithopter. Now, when it comes to the construction, you're going to start with a construction yard to make all the buildings for your base. Here it gives a pretty brief description of all the buildings, but I think one that I should note is the concrete slab. Here it says the foundation is used to make stronger buildings and roadways. However, in the manual it says that it's used to have the buildings suffer less erosion and weather damage, which there isn't any. From what I can tell on how it actually works in the game is that if you don't place down concrete slabs before you build a base, that building will have less health and will produce less efficiently no matter what the building. This means that the barracks and vehicle factories will produce units more slowly, as well as the refinery not converting spice into credits as efficiently. Power stations will also get a debuff and not produce as much power, and any building with less health consumes more power. Any building that was laid down without the foundation can be repaired later though, at a high cost. Now here it's showing what the basic controls are, but obviously as I mentioned before, I'll be using the Sega Mega Mouse, which is kind of funny because I still have to use the D-pad to navigate the menu even in the game. So I'll be holding the D-pad in my left hand while I use the mouse. Now I'll go ahead and let the rest of this play out just so you guys get the full gameplay experience, but I'd like to note that in this game, since it is one of the earliest RTSs, you can only select one unit at a time, which is kind of the main reason why I wanted to use the Sega Mega Mouse in the first place. It's kind of funny because a couple of the face buttons aren't even mentioned. The C button allows you to move the camera more quickly, and there's a hidden function with the B button that allows you to click on a building with the B button instead of A, which would open up the menu, allowing you to reproduce your previous function. For example, if you created a unit at the barracks, you can just recreate that unit by pressing B. That goes for the buildings as well. So quirks of this early RTS are you can't select more than one unit, you cannot set a rally point for any kind of production, and there's no form of garrison of any kind of building. Sorry to those that don't understand RTS lingo. I suspect that using the Sega Mega Mouse will greatly decrease the amount of time that it will take to play this game, but I will say that this game is completely playable with a Sega Genesis controller, and fun. I dare say that this would probably be a good introduction to an RTS for a beginner, if they could get over the pace. Some of you might be curious about the background, and what's going on is I chroma key out the black so that my background shows up. I do this to add more visual flair, and I hope nobody really minds. During gameplay, it will amount to the fog of war being my background. Or the example here of the main title is typically black, but obviously black being keyed out. Now I think for the first episode I'm going to start out with the Harkonnen family.
From the dark world of Getty Prime, the savage House Harkonnen has spread across the universe. A cruel people, we Harkonnen are ruthless towards both friend and foe in our financial pursuit of power. Do you wish to join the House of Harkonnen? I am the Mentat Ratner. For your first test, you will be expected to produce 1,000 credits and not a granule less. You will need to earn credits by harvesting spice, and you will need to build a refinery to convert the spice to credits. First, build concrete slabs, and then build a wind trap and place it upon the concrete. Do the same for the refinery so that you can reach your quota of 1,000 credits.
I couldn't resist. That's just how that guy sounds to me in my head when I look at him. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to do more of that. And use those tools that YouTube allows us to have to let me know how I'm doing. This one's going to be kind of short and sweet because this is just the tutorial level. And I know I was pretty fast there, but I moved all of my units to get them out of the way of building. Now I'm placing a bunch of concrete slabs down to prepare for the next few buildings I got planned. Not sure if this was the most efficient way of doing things. Now if you didn't catch it from the short tutorial earlier, you cannot build on sand, only on rock. That's nothing to worry about right now. I can now build a wind trap and this will give me power. Then we can move on to building our first refinery. This will spawn a unit called the Harvester. Now I have played on this map before, so I'm gonna set some units up over here and oh yeah, here we go. I forgot about the Harvester. Usually need protection. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the next building started, but I won't have enough credits to complete the build, but it will still be in production. You'll see progress bars to the right side. Once this Harvester gets about halfway, I'll call it back to the refinery to get those credits. And as you can see, the progression continues for credits.
Moving out. Yes, sir. Moving out. Reporting. Acknowledged. Construction complete.
Now I could just sit with the 2 refineries, but I'm going to see if I can get a third. But in order to do that, I'm going to need to make another wind trap. Might not be the fastest way to play this level, but I'm kind of just playing around here and making a point.
Construction. Yes, moving out. Construction.
You little weasels.
Acknowledge. Reporting. Acknowledge. Reporting. Acknowledge.
Okay, let's see how much they got. I'll pull them out soon.
Acknowledge. 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 Reporting. Acknowledge.
I should have enough here to make another wind trap and refinery. And hopefully the Lorax bobbit worm won't come to get me.
Construction. Reporting. Acknowledge. Reporting.
I suppose I could look around and see if there's any more enemy units on the map.
Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, moving out. Yes, moving out.
Construction complete.
I was accidentally holding down the D-pad when I exited the menu there and it glitched out the mouse. It was like it had a mind of its own.
Construction complete. Construct.
I was thinking about building 2 more refineries, but I'm probably not going to get a chance to. It's going to give me too many credits before I can do that.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
You have pleased me. Continue to serve me well, and I will see that you are rewarded.
Thank you for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want a part 2, let me know down in the comments. See you later.